Hi everyone. In today's class we will look into how atomic radii and ionic radii of transition elements varies in a series. Right? In the previous video lecture we have already understood about different series, right? And where these d block elements exactly lies in the periodic table. Right? Now in this lecture we'll see how atomic radii and ionic radii of different elements, right, in the different transition series varies. Right, so mainly first series is the 3D series, and this 3D series belongs to the fourth period of the periodic table, right? And this is the 3D series, which doesn't look like this column in the periodic table, but it looks like this: SC, TI, V, CR, MN, Fe, CO, Ni, Cu, then your zinc. Right, now this series 3D series belongs to fourth period, right? So the ionic and atomic radii that we will see varies in a similar way as the atomic radii or ionic radii varies in a period, right? So it varies same as in a period, right? And when we talk about a period, we know that atomic number increases, right? And number of shells remains same, right? Which is in this 3D series is 4, right? Number of shells will remain 4, right? N is equals to 4. So your atomic number will increase. Due to this increased atomic number, when atomic number will increase, your nuclear charge will increase. Nuclear charge will increase, and in this case, nuclear charge will increase along the series, which is nothing but, I'll just write it in a bracket, a period, right? Your nuclear charge will increase. That means nuclear charge is more in Ti than scandium, right? As you move down or as you move horizontally along the period or along the series, your atomic number will increase. Due to increasing atomic number, due to increasing atomic number, your nuclear charge will increase and the number of shells will remain same, right? So what will happen is your number of shells will remain same, and this is your nucleus, right, of different elements, and in this nucleus the number of positive charges will keep increasing, right? So as the number of positive charges will increase, it will attract the outermost shells with a greater and greater force, right? It will attract the outermost shell with a greater and greater force, due to which your atomic radii will decrease, right? And same trend will follow in ionic radii also, right? So you can see that the atomic radii decreases first in the series, right? So due to this increased nuclear force or increased force due to increasing nuclear charge, your attractive force on the valence shell or on the outermost shell will increase, right? So now when the force will increase, what will happen is your atomic radii will decrease, right? This is what ideally happens. Now in case of elements of 3D series, what we notice is that the decrease of this atomic radii is very less after midway, right? After midway, that is after chromium, you can see that this decrease is very less, and the decrease is almost gone from manganese to iron. You can see that atomic radii doesn't decrease from manganese to iron, it remains same 126, right? And then it decreases, then all of a sudden at the end it increases. We need to look at the reason of this abnormal behavior. why it decreases very less after midway, then it doesn't decrease from manganese to iron, then it almost increases at the end, right? That means the decrease, first just understand that this decrease was due to the attractive force due to nucleus, right? Now when this decrease is lessening, right, when this decrease is going down, that means this attractive force due to nuclear charge is going down, that is, this attractive force is decreasing, right? Now this attractive force is decreasing because there is something that is coming between this outermost shell and this nucleus, right? And what is that which is coming? It's your d electrons, because these d electrons are present in the shell which is one before the outermost shell, that is in the penultimate shell. These d electrons are present in the penultimate shell, right? Now it is these d electrons that are increasing as you move down the series, as you move along the series. These d electrons increases, due to which the attractive force due to nucleus decreases. This attractive force decreases, right? Due to which your atomic radii goes almost, it doesn't almost increases from manganese to iron, right? And then it decreases very less from chromium to manganese to iron to cobalt, you can see, to nickel. It decreases very less, right? So now as you move along the series, since your number of d electrons increases, right, in the penultimate shell, right? So in the beginning the atomic radii is decreasing, right? Why? Because the number of d electrons are less, right? Now what these d electrons are doing, these d electrons repel one another. These d electrons repel one another, due to which electron cloud, or you can say atomic radii, increases, right? So these are kind of two opposing forces. This is attractive, right? And this is due to d electrons in the penultimate shell. This is repulsive, right? So these two are opposing forces, right? They oppose one another. So this will keep, because the number of d electrons are increasing, so this repulsive force will keep increasing, right? And due to this increasing repulsive force, this attractive force will keep decreasing, right? That is why decrease in atomic radii is getting lessened, right? Decrease here, if you see, 160 to 147. Now here, as you move down, 127 to 126, only one unit decrease in atomic radii, right? And from manganese to iron, no decrease, right? So this decrease in atomic radii is becoming less and less, right? Why? Due to decreasing attractive forces and increasing repulsive forces due to d electrons, right? So what these d electrons are basically doing, when the d electrons are increasing, right, they are acting as a shield between this nucleus and the outermost shell, right? And this we know is the shielding or the screening effect of electrons, right? These d electrons are shielding the outermost electrons from the nucleus. The outermost electrons are getting shielded from the nucleus due to the electronic repulsion between the d electrons, right? So the basic reason that why this decrease, right, becomes less from the midway and it doesn't decrease from manganese to iron is due to these increased repulsive forces. As the repulsive force will keep increasing as the repulsive force will keep increasing due to increasing number of d electrons in the penultimate shell, right, this attractive force will keep decreasing. Why? Because with the increasing d electrons, these d electrons are acting as a shield between this nucleus and this outermost shell, right? When there is a shield between these two, then the attractive force on the outermost shell due to this nucleus, which is ideally due to the nuclear charge on the nucleus, will decrease. So when this attractive force will decrease, the normal trend of decreasing atomic radii will also be affected, right? That is why this decrease is less from the midway, and it doesn't decrease from manganese to iron. Why it doesn't decrease from manganese to iron? Because from manganese to iron, at iron, the increase, this repulsive force is exactly equal to the attractive force. So at iron, when the repulsive force due to increased number of d electrons, right, will become equal to the attractive force between nucleus and your outermost shell, there is no decrease in the atomic volume, right? I hope this is clear. Now as you keep coming down, your d electrons will keep increasing, right, and your repulsive force will also keep increasing, and your attractive force will keep decreasing, right? And at the end there is almost sudden increase in the nuclear charge, in the atomic radii. You can see the atomic radii for zinc has increased to 138. What could be the reason? This increasing repulsive forces, right, between these d electrons has become greater than the attractive force due to the nuclear charge and between your nucleus and the outermost electrons, right? So when this repulsive force will increase, right, or when the repulsive force will become greater than the attractive force, your atomic radii will show an increase, right? That is why at zinc you see a sudden increase in the atomic radii, because your repulsive forces will increase and your attractive force, due to which your radii was decreasing, this attractive force has decreased, right, and your repulsive force has increased, because it is due to the repulsive force that the electron cloud was increasing, right? So this is the reason, right? I hope this is clear. Just remember, this is something very basic that we have been doing from periodic table, right? That as you move along the period, your attractive force due to nuclear charge will increase, right? So normally your atomic radii will decrease, right, due to this increased nuclear charge. Now in case of d block elements, you have something d electrons. The number of d electrons in the penultimate shell is increasing, right? And due to this increased number of d electrons, there is increased repulsion. When there is repulsion, your electron cloud will increase. That is, this repulsive force has tendency to increase the electron cloud or your atomic radii, right? So when this repulsive force will keep increasing, right, or the number of electrons will keep increasing, they will act as a shield between your outermost electrons and your nucleus, right? So this is your screening or shielding effect, which we already know, right? So basically it is due to the screening or shielding effect of electrons in the penultimate shell that your atomic radii will show this kind of trend. That is, it will decrease very less from the midway, then it will remain constant at iron, then it almost increases at the bottom. At the bottom, your attractive forces are less than your repulsive forces, right? I hope this is clear. Now let's look into the trend in the atomic radii along the period, right? As you move down, you have 3D series, you have 4D series, you have 5D series, you have 6D series. So how does this atomic radii varies along the period, down the series, right, for elements of different transition series, right? So in the periodic table, if you go down along the period, you have elements of these different transition series. So what will happen is, we know that as you move down the series, the number of shells will keep on increasing, right? So when the number of shells will increase, the distance from this nucleus will keep on increasing, right? And attractive force will keep on decreasing. When this attractive force will keep on decreasing, as the number of shells will increase, they will go far and far away from this nucleus, right? So your atomic radii will increase, right? So from third to fourth transition series, your atomic radii will increase, right? But here again we have an abnormal behavior, right? Abnormal behavior is that the atomic radii of second and third transition series are almost the same, right? The atomic radii normally increases down the group, right? Atomic radii will increase down the group, right? As you move down, right? In the elements of different series, you will notice an increase in the atomic radii from the third, from this 3D series to 4D series. There is an increase in the atomic radii, right? But the atomic radii of second and third transition series, that is 4D and 5D, right? The second and third transition series, the atomic radii will not increase, right? It will remain almost same. So atomic radii of 4D and 5D series, or the second and third transition series, will almost remain same, right? Now what could be the reason? The reason is lengthenoid contraction, which we will study in a different lecture when we will do this lengthenoid contraction in detail. Lengthenoid contraction. Now due to this lengthenoid contraction, what happens is, lengthenoid contraction is decrease in atomic volume due to with increasing nuclear charge, right? Your nuclear charge is increasing as you move down the group, right? But your atomic volume, or sorry, your atomic radii is decreasing, right? This is your lengthenoid contraction. Decreasing atomic radii with increasing atomic number, right? As your atomic number increases, ideally the number of shells will keep increasing. So your atomic radii will keep on increasing, right? Due to less and less force of attraction due to this nucleus. But in case of second and third transition series, we have noticed that this increase in atomic radii doesn't happen, right? It remains almost same. Now why it happens? It is due to lengthenoid contraction, right? We'll understand lengthenoid contraction in a different lecture, right? So this is it. We also need to understand the variation in ionic radii. The variation in ionic radii, you can see it also follows the same trend, right? Whereas where your atomic radii will decrease, right, then it decreases less, then it increases, right? So it follows the same trend. And just one important thing, we know, we have studied this earlier also, that the atomic radii of a cation, right, is less than the parent atom, and the atomic radii of anion is greater than the parent atom, right? Now what could be the reason there? Let's just quickly understand that. We know that when we remove an electron, right, when an electron is removed from a neutral atom, the nuclear charge, this nuclear charge will remain same, right? But when the number of electrons will decrease, right, now the same nuclear charge is getting applied on the less number of electrons, right? So when it is applied on the less number of electrons, the effective nuclear charge will increase. So when the effective nuclear charge will increase, the ionic radii will decrease, right? So we have different ionic radii for different oxidation states. For example, if this is M3 plus ion and you have, if this is your M3 plus ion, this is your M2 plus ion, here 2 electrons are removed, here 3 electrons are removed, right? And your nuclear charge, that is the charge due to nucleus, which is a nuclear charge, your nuclear charge will remain same, right? Now when you have removed more electrons, you reached M3 plus oxidation state, right? So on this oxidation state M3 plus, where you have removed more number of electrons, the force would be more, right? Here when you have removed less number of electrons, 2 electrons, the force would be less on the remaining electrons, right? Since you have less number of electrons, now this force will, the same force will act on the less number of electrons, so force will increase, right, on the resulting electrons. When force will increase, the ionic radii will decrease, right? So here the ionic radii of M3 plus would be less than M2 plus, because here you have less number of electrons, whereas the nuclear force due to nuclear charge remains same, right? So here the atomic ionic radii will decrease because force of attraction is on less number of electrons. The same force is getting applied on less number of electrons, so ionic radii will decrease, right? And for the same oxidation state, right, let's say you have M2 plus ions, right, N2 plus and say Y2 plus, when the oxidation state will remain same and your atomic number will increase. When an atomic number will increase, the nuclear charge will increase, right? So when the nuclear charge will increase, the atomic radii will decrease, right? So for the same oxidation state, with the increasing atomic number, the ionic radii will decrease, right? And when you have ions in different oxidation states, we have already discussed, right? I hope this is clear. Now just understand one more thing, that your S block elements and your D block elements will form positive ions, right? Whereas your P block elements which are in extreme right of the periodic table, and they have high electronegativity, so they generally form negative ions. For example, chlorine, bromine, iodine, right? All these are in the P block of the periodic table, and they, we know, form negative ions because they can easily accept an electron, right? So they form negative ions. And if you talk about extreme left, S block elements have less number of electrons in the outermost shell, which they can easily lose, so they form pure positive ions. Same is with D block elements. So S and D block elements will form positive ions, whereas P block elements will form negative ions, right? I hope this trend of atomic radii and ionic radii is clear. Just be good with the electronic configuration, because everything that has been explained is based on the electronic configuration, right? And these D electrons, which is something different in case of these D block elements. I hope this is clear. Thanks.